Hey Quarantine Fluffers, Riv here. Thank you all so much for getting me to 3,000 subscribers. I've been thinking about a way to celebrate and I think I have a fun idea. Most of you know that every week I play a song on guitar or bass that a viewer challenges me to play. As I've been getting more viewers, I've been getting a lot more challenges, to the point where I have enough backed up to last an entire year. Since I use a random number generator to pick them, there are at least a few that have been in the queue for over a year. So to celebrate 3,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a guitar challenge marathon video where I try to complete as many as I can. I'll start with 3 of them that I already did but got challenged to do a second time, and keep going with some of the ones that have been sitting in my queue for a while. I also want to revisit 2 that defeated me in the past. Stay tuned for that one coming soon. Speaking of guitar challenges, this week's is Cool Thing by Sonic Youth, suggested by... I have no idea because my spreadsheet had a glitch and I lost your name. Let me know in the comments if that was your challenge. Sorry about that. After that will be the 3rd installment of my Suitmaker Spotlight series featuring an interview with Twinky Arts. Check out the links in the description for my Patreon and Teespring merch, and please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hey, welcome to the 3rd episode of Suitmaker Spotlight. I am here with Twiko, the owner of...
Twinky Arts.
All right. Very excited to have her here. Thank you so much for being here to participate in my little interview.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're an amazing fursuit maker. I've been following your work for quite a few years now. Very unique style. And where did it all start? How did you get into fursuit making and when?
Well, I have been doing fursuit making for almost 10 years. This is going to be the 10th year. And how I started is that it basically started how I found furry in general. So I came across a YouTube video. It was AC Fursuit Parade, and I saw the fursuits, and I was like, that is pretty cool. I want to learn more about that. And so at the time, there was barely any tutorials or anything, so I literally had to build my suit from the ground up and learn what worked and what didn't work. And at the time, it was just a hobby. You know, I was just like, I just want to make one if I can or not and see how it goes. And then a friend contacted me and was like, hey, do you take commissions? And I was like, I don't know if I want to, you know, I'm not really good. I'm not to the point where I'm comfortable doing that. So, but they persuaded me to do it, and that client ended up being my husband in the end.
Wow, that is an amazing story.
Yeah. But that's how it all started, and I freaking love this job so much. It's so fun. I love seeing my clients have a good time in their suits and bringing it to life.
Okay, so where are you based out of?
Right now, I am based in Washington State, Pacific Northwest. I have been all over the place, but that's where I'm originally from, so that's where everything started.
Okay, so Twinky Arts is one of those suits that you can immediately recognize. Very unique, recognizable style. Mm-hmm. How did that happen? Was that something that you intentionally developed throughout the years, or did it happen just sort of organically by itself?
I would say organically, because and I don't know if anybody has this trouble, but for me at the time when I was working, I was just trying to get the construction right, you know, make sure that I knew what I was doing and how I was making it. And then after, I would say maybe four years in, my style started changing and developing into the style you see today. I wasn't really focused on getting that style right then and there. I just wanted to focus on building the suits the way I wanted them to.
And you've ended up with a really amazing style. You know, like I said, you see a Twinky Arts suit, like, hey, I know who made that.
Thank you.
And they're absolutely beautiful. If anybody out there watching does not know what they look like, if you're into furry YouTube, think of Myron the Fluffy. So was there back early on a particular suit or a style of suit or another maker that inspired you?
Yeah, there were actually several makers, because at the time when I started, there was not many suit makers available. There was maybe like the 5, and you always hear about the 5, right? So one of those makers was actually Made For You. You know, Made For You, Mixed Candy. I really loved their styles when I first saw them. I was like, ooh, those are really pretty. But I maybe took a few things that I liked how their heads looked and started just, you know, that's how my style progressed into what it is now. But I didn't want to copy. I just wanted to have the inspiration right then and there, you know. But other than that, that's just I hope people are inspired by my stuff too, you know. I mean, that's how it all is with us artists. We're all inspired by each other in some way.
Absolutely. Very cool. So tell us about your own character or characters that you have.
Oh, yes. So my main character is Twinko. At first, when I created her 10 years ago, she was just a wolf at the time. And then I started kind of distancing myself from her and her design. And so I actually updated her about a year or 2 ago now. So she's a maned wolf now. And she's got gigantic ears, and she's blue and orange with some green accents, with polka dots on her nose. But I freaking love her. She's everything that I want to be.
So what is the process for commissioning a Twinky Arts suit?
Okay, so I only open once a year. And the reason why I do that is because I take about 10 to 15 suits a year. That way I have the whole year to do those suits. And I like to finish my queue before I reopen again, because I've heard some horror stories and I don't want to be in that with that issue, you know? And so if when we open for a few days to allow everybody to submit. The order form is on our website when the time comes. You put in whatever you want for your suit, your ref sheet, you're ready to go. After those few days, we'll start looking through everything, pick and choose which ones we would like to make. If you end up getting a message where you were accepted, then you just put your 30% down. If you really want to get your suit faster, then you're more than welcome to pay it off right then and there. You're going to get your suit within a month or 2 after that. If not, we do payment plans. They're about 6 months for installments, so each month you will pay a certain amount there. If you want to pay more, we won't say no. You're more than welcome to do so. And for our queue, what we do with our queue is that if you do pay it off, you're going to be on the top of the queue. If you're on the payment plan, you're going to be on the bottom, but you're eventually going to make it to the top once you pay it off. You know what I mean? So, and that's it. I mean, then we'll contact you for your duct tape dummy and shoes and get you started on when we do the production of your suit.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what species have you done? Are there any that you haven't done that you would like to do a suit of, or any that are just like, no, I'm not doing that?
Oh, I don't like to be closed-minded. I love to do other species, and I've actually pushed this for so many years now, because it's always canines, and I have nothing against canines. I love them. I love to make them. However, I, as an artist, love to make my portfolio with a bunch of variety to show people who are interested in commissioning that I can make these other critters, and I'm not afraid to do that, you know. I like to challenge myself. That way it ups my skill as an artist. So for species, I mean, I have a list of species, but I'll give you a couple. For instance, I want to make horses, you know. I want to make more dragons, more fantasy critters. Elephants would be cool, you know. Rhinos. Any of those critters you don't really see often in the fandom. Bring them on.
Awesome. That's cool that you're always willing to take on new challenges and new species that sometimes you don't see a whole lot of in the fandom.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I've had people come up to me and they've talked to several different makers to see if they would ever take on that particular project. And they always get shot down because it's something that either the artist doesn't want to do, or they think they can't do it, or it's just way too complex, you know? So I try to do as much as I can. And sometimes I do come across projects that are a little bit too complex or not something I do personally with my suits, like for example, like LEDs. But I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to that stuff. I love the challenge.
Awesome. So is this a lifelong career for you, do you think? Is this something that you're gonna keep doing and keep expanding on and keep going with?
I really hope so. I mean, it takes a lot out of me, not gonna lie. But it's something that I hope to continue for a while, at least. You know, I still got a lot of oomph in me when it comes to building. So, for sure, yeah, I can see it.
Great to hear. We'll be looking forward to seeing what you make in the future. Some beautiful suits. Thank you so much for being here and for allowing me to interview you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All of you out there, you can check out the links to her website, social media, and everything in the description. See you next time.
Bye.